Lost in the completely understandable focus on Bernie and Hillary duking it out from California to New Jersey last night, history was also made, or set to be made, in another race yesterday, and that has to do with the California Senate primary. Now, the reason history was made was because of something that happened in history. Back in 2010, California voters signed off on Proposition 14 that established what has been called the jungle primary system. It transformed the state's June primaries into open contests where all voters vote for all candidates, or one of all the candidates, that should say, with the top two finishers regardless of party advancing to November. So the interesting thing that can come about as a result of that did come about. Despite the fact that Tuesday's U.S. Senate primary featured 12 Republicans and 7 Democrats among 34 candidates overall, Harris, who's a Democrat, received 40% of the vote. Sanchez, who's a Democrat, received 18% of the vote. And the top finishing Republican received less than half of Sanchez's total. So that is Representative Loretta Sanchez, a congresswoman from California, and also California Attorney General Kamala Harris, who had been mentioned when Obama was thinking about who he might nominate, ended up going with Merrick Garland. And so that means that in the actual general election we have for the California Senate seat to replace Barbara Boxer, there will not be a Republican, just 2 Democrats to choose from.
So now the race is also historic, they say, because it is 2 minority women running against each other, and we will either have the first Latina senator ever in U.S. history.
Ever.
Which is amazing. I mean, I can't believe we've never had a Latina as a senator. And the first time we'd have a female black senator since 1999 when Carol Moseley Braun lost her re-election effort in Illinois.
And still a very small number of African-American senators of either gender in American history.
So when people say it's sexist to run against women, as Bernie Sanders is doing, it's preposterous, right? It totally depends on which woman.
Well, I think it's a little bit sexist of Loretta Sanchez.
That's true. Or Kamala Harris. I can't figure out which one because they're both running against women.
Yeah. It's tough to figure out, so we're going to focus on the issues.
Right.
That's our fallback.
So I don't want Carly Fiorina making any kind of history. I don't want Ben Carson or Herman Cain making any kind of history because I don't agree with them. But if on top of being a wonderful progressive, you also happen to represent a perspective that is not very well represented in the Senate, whatever that perspective might be, great, because that adds to the diversity of ideas in Congress, which is wonderful.
It's a nice bonus.
Yeah, so this is we will get that bonus from this. But yes, the much more important part here is, oh, look at this. It turns out we do elections a little differently.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this is very interesting. And by the way, it could have been 2 Republicans. In fact, there's a scenario where 2 Republicans almost won in one of the races in California.
Yes. I believe it's for the comptroller.
Yes, so let me just explain that because that does go to the possible downside, not because it was Republicans, but because of the way that race shook out. There was 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans in a 2014 race for the state's comptroller's office, and it wound up almost becoming 2 Republicans running against each other. After a recount, it turned out one of the Democrats did have more votes, and it was a Democrat versus Republican. But the quote-unquote problem there was that there are far more Democrats in that region, but since the Democrats had more candidates in, they split up the vote more. So not only did 1 Republican make it into the finals, 2 Republicans almost made it into the finals, even though combined the Democrats had far more votes.
That's scary, a little bit.
Yeah, so that's the possible downside of this system. But I think so that's real, and we don't live in a black and white world where you only get upsides, and your side is right about everything, and the other side is wrong about everything. But nonetheless, it is certainly worth experimenting with, and I so far I really like it.
Yeah.
And it allows you to then not have to vote for the lesser of 2 evils. So, for example, in this case, Loretta Sanchez is far more what they call moderate, which is oftentimes a code word in the establishment press for corporatists.
I've got a little breakdown on some of the
So
votes.
let's give you that breakdown and give you a sense of it.
So Sanchez has voted with Republicans on issues like gun control and regulating for-profit colleges, which means she just lost Anna Kasparian's vote. She voted
By
against...
the way, that means that she didn't want to regulate for-profit colleges.
Exactly. She voted against invading Iraq and the Patriot Act.
That's good.
Which was good and rare votes. There are only so many. They do seem to pop up a lot. It turns out that if you voted that way, you're going to bring it up for the rest of your career, which you should because you earned it.
There was a lot more no votes in the House.
Yes.
Because a lot more representatives from the House are in super liberal districts where it was safer
Safe to vote,
to vote against Iraq than to vote for it.
Exactly. Now, Kamala Harris, on the other hand, who did end up receiving the California Democratic Party's endorsement, which did not hurt her fundraising, certainly, she also won the endorsement of Senator Elizabeth Warren. As Attorney General, she sought to reduce California's prison population, reduce police violence, and prosecute polluters. Earlier this year, she began investigating ExxonMobil for misleading the public about the risks of climate change, and she recently sued the Southern California gas company for failing to report a massive methane leak.
So,
those are all good things.
As a progressive, this is not that hard a question for me. So when they said the Democratic Party endorsed her, I was like, whoa, that made me think, wait, is that the right? Now, she's supposed to be somebody with a great future, and in fact, she's on some of the VP lists as a possibility for whoever wins the Democratic nomination, which now looks like very likely to be Hillary Clinton, obviously. So Clinton is considering her. But then when you look into her record, you go, oh, no, she's really progressive. Not only the Elizabeth Warren endorsement, which is enormous.
Yeah,
but, and not only,
it turns out her endorsement can really help a candidate.
Yeah, could have used one in the overall. Anyway, and then criminal justice reform. But the one that really stood out to me was the fact that she's going after ExxonMobil on climate change. Because she said,
I love it.
Because I've been talking for a long time about why do they get to privatize all the gains from fossil fuels, but they socialize all the losses. They go, all of humanity has to deal with the climate change we're partly creating, and we're not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the profits, but I'm going to put all the costs onto you. So someone is finally investigating that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And by the way, of course, for Kamala Harris, I assume she's focused on becoming the senator of California. But if she were to have aspirations towards the vice presidency or whatever, Kamala Harris Loretta Sanchez coming in second is obviously great news for her. Because we talked recently about the Harry Reid saying, no, you're not going to pluck one of my Democratic senators to be your VP if it means that we could lose that seat.
Great point.
Now they have a fallback of another Democrat that can win the seat.
That's right. So if she becomes a VP, the Democrat wins anyway.
Exactly.
But if
Hillary can say that she's made history in two ways then with that pick.
But how the election normally would have gone, and that's why we gave you the breakdown of who's more progressive, is that if Loretta Sanchez had finished first in the Democratic primary and then she was going to run against a Republican, the Democratic Party would have gotten to do its favorite trick. Sorry, you're going to have to vote for the one who's who's a corporatist, takes for-profit college money and lets them trick students and all this stuff and all the other bad votes. You're going to have to suck it up because otherwise you're going to get a Republican. Now, no, I could vote for anyone I like. I could vote for the more progressive Democrat.
Yeah.
Sad day for you. So I think Prop 14 in 2010 is a wonderful experiment in democracy. And yes, it's got some downsides, but I think its upsides way outweigh them. And this is an excellent example of how we finally have a real choice in an election in America.
And I'm sure that they've considered something like this, but it seems like an easy way to get around the major downside, which is if you theoretically had 100 Democrats running, then it doesn't matter how many they each get because they're going to take it away and then the two Republicans could end up as the candidates. You could simply have some sort of threshold that if Democrats get 30% or 40% or 50% or whatever, then they're guaranteed to have their top vote-getting candidate also added to the rolls or something like that. That way the Republicans could have a candidate at the very least.
Yeah, look, I encourage all of those type of experimentations, but we're barely at the beginning of those experiments to fix our democracy. So
yeah, exactly.
This is a great start.